Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be looking at Cam Newton's throwing motion and why it is how it is. Obviously, Cam Newton's been struggling this year, but maybe his throwing motion has to do with it, or maybe it's just because he doesn't have any threats in the red zone for him. But maybe he can become the 2015 Cam. So obviously, if we look at 2015 here, really focused on his throwing motion, Cam Newton was a playmaker. He was a beast. He won MVP. He won Heisman. And just really focus on his throwing motion, his playmaking ability. Now, when we look at this game, Cam Newton put up pretty good numbers, 397 yards, 3 TDs, and it was the second week for the Patriots, and it looked like the future was ahead of them, and it looked like they were going to have a really good season. But in this game, Cam Newton looked like he suffered an injury in his abdominal and his shoulder, obviously. In 2017, he had rotator cuff surgery, and this may have caused his problems with his throwing motion now. If you look at his throwing motion here, it looks normal, and he looks explosive and really good. Obviously, they did end up losing this game, but I think that was a bad play calling. This was a play that Cam Newton got hurt on. He was diving into the end zone for a touchdown. I think he did end up scoring this one, but he hurt his abdominals, like I said, and I think he re-hurt his shoulder. He's been on injury reserve, or the injury list, questionable every game until the Dolphins game. When we look at this game, the Texans game, this was his most recent, or one of his games. Look at how he threw there. It looked like he couldn't rotate all the way, and his shoulder could not pass up above his. It looked like his arm couldn't pass up above his shoulder. Again, see that? His throwing motion is just weird. It's snappy. Obviously, his coach was working on him, his QB coach, but it looks like he is hurt, and he's fighting through an injury. He throws the ball hard. He's not as fast, but he's pretty fast still, breaking tackles, making great plays. But they just don't have playmakers around him, and I think that's a big problem, and Cam gets a lot of hate for that. When we look at their most recent game against the Dolphins, they didn't end up losing, but this was the first week he was not on the questionable injury list, and he looked a lot better. His throwing motion looked better. They just didn't have any playmakers to finish in the red zone. They ended up scoring 12 points, I think, but those could have easily been at least 2 touchdowns if they had playmakers in the red zone to throw it to. Obviously, they have N'Keal Harry, who's tall, but he's not that fast. Edelman's hurt, and he was their big playmaker. So what is your guys' opinion on Cam Newton? Do you think he'll return next year? Do you think he's suffering through an injury, or is it simply that he doesn't have playmakers around him, or do you think he's just too old and not good anymore? But please like, subscribe if you like this video, and give me feedback on what you think about Cam.